The East Coast alone is home to about 198,000 homeless people, nearly 2/5 of the entire homeless population of the United States. The bulk of the population is in New York. New York has around 89,000 people living without adequate living conditions. New York City is the most homeless populated city in the entirety of the United States, with a recorded 62,000 people, almost 70% of the entire homeless population of New York. There are many homeless shelters in New York City, but the population is still on the rise. Something really needs to change in the Empire State, and it needs to happen soon. Next, we are going to drop down to the Carolinas. North Carolina has around 8,962 homeless people on a given night. North Carolina has a huge organization, the NCCEH, the North Carolina Coalition to End Homelessness. They hold multiple events weekly, and the homelessness in North Carolina is decreasing a lot. For example, in 2010, there were 12,000 homeless people within the state. Since then, that number has dropped all the way to 8,000, a great decrease. Unlike its northern neighbor, South Carolina has around 3,900 homeless people in the state, which is not a lot compared to other states. A major event that happened in South Carolina occurred back in 2013. The capital city, Columbia, approved a plan that essentially made homelessness illegal. The plan states that a homeless-looking person will be asked to move to a shelter on the outskirts of Columbia. If they refuse, they could be arrested on public nuisance laws. Although this law may be found inhumane and unjust, it has been working. In 2013, South Carolina saw nearly 7,000 homeless people, but that number has dropped by about 3,000 since then. And finally, the home state, New Jersey. New Jersey has around 8,500 people without adequate living. The total population has gone down by 409 individuals since 2016. Ocean County itself has a homeless population of 224, or 2.6% of the statewide population. It has had a decrease of 206 people, or nearly 48% since 2016. In Toms River itself, there is a homeless shelter with the name Oceans Harbor House Youth Shelter. Oceans Harbor House is a safe haven for youth ages 10 to 21 who have run away, are homeless, or have been abused, neglected, or abandoned. The organization is committed to providing quality services that respond to the growing and changing needs of youth in the Jersey Shore. The shelter has 12 beds for youth up to the age of 19. In addition to providing emergency shelter placement, Harbor House provides home-cooked meals, clothing, counseling, case management, recreation, transportation, and medical services. The Ocean Harbor House is one of the only homeless shelters that are located in Toms River and are really helping out the community. They do accept donations, which can be done at their website and the phone number that is located at their website.
I put a survey online for people to take about the issue of homelessness and their opinions of it. There were 50 people who took the survey as of yesterday, June 12th. The first question was, what does homelessness mean to you? Exactly half of the people that had answered said that it did not mean much to them. The next biggest answer was that it meant a lot. That was about 30% of the people. The others said it did not mean much or nothing to them. I didn't expect anyone who took the survey to know a homeless person, but about one of them did know a homeless person personally. I think that's kind of shocking. I would think that less people would personally know homeless people. The next few questions were about what the generous people of the streets would give to a homeless person they saw on the road. About 60% of the people would not give a homeless person money. But the ones who did thought that they would spend it on food and drugs. And as a follow-up question, there was, what would you give a homeless person on the street? The majority of the people said food and water. And not surprisingly, no one would give a homeless person a place to stay. The next question was, how do you believe these people lost their homes? The most popular answer that was there was not enough funds to provide a home for themselves. And those people are correct. According to Google, the top 4 results for this question are that they do not have enough funds. Others also not making enough money in a job, unemployment, everything along the lines of not making enough money. The next few questions were all fact questions. The first one was, how many homeless people do you think live in New Jersey? Well, the amount that was put on the survey seemed to range around 1,000. That's very low compared to the actual amount. The actual amount of homeless people that live in New Jersey is 9,000. The next question was very similar, but with the entire country. And again, people were guessing way too low. Since a lot of people don't have much knowledge about this problem, they would have no idea that about 1.56 million people live without homes every day in America. That's a large number. Moving on, the next question was about the homeless people themselves. The question was, what percent of homeless people do you believe have mental illnesses? There were many guesses around the correct answer, but 4 people hit it right on the dot. 25% of homeless people do have mental illnesses. This also shows that the mental illnesses can have a big factor of homelessness along the lines of funds. The final fact-based question was, what state do you believe has the largest homeless population? Most people either said New York or California. California is the state with the largest homeless population. Hawaii also has the largest percent of population to homeless ratio. The final few questions were all opinion-based. The first question was, what do you think the people in your community can do to help this cause? The most popular answer just seemed to be donating money and time to the cause. That can very much help by donating to make a shelter or a pantry or anything that would help them. The final question was if they thought homelessness was a solvable problem. The best answer was no, because there will always be people who make wrong decisions throughout their lives. However, that does not mean that we should give up on them. We should always work together as a unified group to aim to decrease the population of homeless people. I believe this is an intelligent answer because this person is looking at a real side and the true side of this question. I think it's important to think of the real world when thinking about these types of problems. And that's what the people in your community think of homelessness.